I'm gonna show you the progress on my back slope. I've started digging up dahlias, obviously not these ones, but like over there, there's an empty space. So here's what I've been working on. I'm using wood chips for the paths. I still need to do that bed over there, but I usually do like 3 to 4 inches of wood chips when I do paths, and I get these from Chip Drop. If you have them in your area, check them out, but just be aware that whatever they bring, you have to take, and it's usually a lot. Like mine are always like 20 cubic yards. This is the cover crop that's starting to germinate. I went ahead and did a mixture of peas, oats, yellow mustard, and buckwheat. The yellow mustard and buckwheat will die with our first frost, but there was still enough time to plant it for it to give some benefit, and I had the seed, so I decided to just go ahead and do it, and then it will decompose into the soil. This bit right here is quite a bit more of a slope than some of the others. If I come down here, you can kind of see I'm still undecided if I'm just gonna chip the whole thing or put in another bed. I mean, honestly, I'll probably do another bed, but I think I'd have to use something a little bit more sturdy than logs, or they'll just roll down. Here's a trick I often utilize. I have gotten one giant silage tarp. These are designed to block light and kill everything underneath them. And then I cut it into 4 pieces. Yeah, 4 pieces. So there's a piece, and then there's a piece over there on top of my compost, and then there's a piece over there, and then I actually have a piece at someone's property because I was thinking of expanding and planting a field over there. But this area underneath here is a ton of invasive weeds, and I don't have time to deal with them. So you can kind of see the ivy over there along the fence. So I just dragged the silage tarp over here and I stuck it on all of it. And it won't necessarily kill invasive weeds. I mean, it might if you have it on for a couple years, but it at least will keep them from spreading. And so that's kind of like my cheap trick of not having to deal with an area. Is I genuinely do not have time to deal with this area. Also, this is our fence and we have to replace it, so I don't really want to build beds up here to make that more difficult. So I just dump a silage tarp there and I'll get to it next year. The other thing I like about wood chips, back to those, is like if you look down here, you can see that the ground is really uneven along here. And you can just dump the wood chips and then rake them out so it just evens out that entire area. So obviously this place right here, which is higher, will have less, and this place will have more, but then you end up with even paths and you're not tripping over them. So that's the progress on these beds. Once these leaves fall off our cherry tree, I'm gonna rake them into a big pile, mow over them a few times into smaller pieces, and then just dump all of the mowed leaves on top of these beds as well. And then here's my dahlias. This is a favorite white. This is Holly Hill Miss White. It's a tiny ball. Well, it's not tiny. It's about, 2.5 inches, but it is so cute. Very prolific. I'm definitely growing that one again. Here's another one that if you don't have, you should get. This is Sebastian, and this is such a prolific cut flower. I mean, seriously, this thing pumps out the blooms. Like, I think I had like 8 plants, and I got so many out of these. Another one, This is Cricketon honey. So the thing about Cricketon honey, and I think it might depend on your tuber stock, is that it has more of a tendency to blow its center open. So like this one over here, like I might throw away these tubers because they blow their center open really quickly. And I think that just happens, like sometimes tubers just degrade over time. Because these ones are the same variety and they've been keeping good tight centers. So that's just something to be mindful, is that if you have a variety and it did great for several years, but then it starts to just not give really good blooms, just throw out the tubers. And then here's another one. So it's later in the season. Also, I'm letting these all go to seed. So normally this one wouldn't have an open center, but this is Bloomquist Jean. And look at all those curly petals. I really love this one. It's super prolific, really beautiful. So yeah. Oh, and then, you know, this one is really easy to find, but that doesn't mean it's not good. This is Cornell Bronze. Really good cut flower. Tall, strong, supports itself, very prolific, makes good tubers. Pretty cheap to find because, you know, it makes good tubers, so it's easy to keep. But it's just great for bouquets. So if you don't have that one, get it. Oh, and then just one more that's like a new to me, but I really, really love this one. Bracken Sarah. She's so pretty. She's big. There's my hand. But she's so gorgeous. She starts out more yellow in the season, and then as the season goes, she gets like these pinky peach tips. Definitely get that one if you can and you don't have it. So yeah, that's my little talk. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.